Are you looking for an affordable waterproof case for your iPhone 10 or 8 or 7s? You should definitely check out the Nautical 2 by Ghostek. I've been rocking this case on my iPhone for several weeks now, and I can definitely recommend it if you're looking for a waterproof case. I'm very impressed with the overall design of the Nautical 2. It offers better than average drop in water protection while offering exceptional handling for a waterproof case, that is. I will say that the Nautical 2 is a decent case to use almost on a day-to-day basis, even if you don't need that extra protection. I've come to this conclusion after doing a plethora of awful things to an iPhone 10 inside the Nautical 2. In terms of longevity, the Nautical 2 is going to last way longer than the Lifeproof Fre, and you can get one at half the price of a Lifeproof Fre, which is great for people who like to collect cases. I've given this case a score of 4 A's out of 5. It actually scores slightly lower than the Ghostek Atomic 3, but the Atomic 3 had a couple of neat extra features that might not be applicable to every person, and I'll elaborate towards the end of this video. You will notice that I've filmed this video in distinctly 2 parts because I did have a small mishap with the iPhone 10 in one of the drops, and I'll elaborate in a few minutes.
Real usage, real reviews. MobileReviewsA.ca.
At Mobile Reviews A, Monty and I base all our reviews on actual usage, which means we'll put our own iPhones in harm's way to see how well they hold up to wear and tear. Well, why do we do this? Well, this is the information that I would want to know if I was planning to buy this product. When it comes to size, the Nautical 2 is larger than the average case. Now, this is to be expected given that it is waterproof up to 20 feet and will protect your iPhone from drops between 8 to 12 feet. The extra size isn't that noticeable since the design of the case has a lot of texture for your hands and fingers to hold on to. The widest parts of the case occur around the corners, which are heavily reinforced, because it can offer 8 to 10, 12 feet drop protection. One of the things I am most impressed about the Nautical 2 is the build quality. Everything fits extremely well together and it feels very, very solid. It feels almost as solid as the old Atomic waterproof case, despite not being made from a block of aluminum. I generally can't say the same for other waterproof cases like the Lifeproof Fre and the ones from Dog and Bone because, well, they feel very flimsy, unlike the Nautical 2. From a day-to-day wear perspective, having the waterproof seal sit closer to the back of the case means that drops will not have a negative impact on water protection. Other waterproof cases that snap together right in the middle of the case will eventually crack and, well, you lose the water protection. There is a much smaller chance that this will not happen with the Nautical 2. When it comes to general handling, the case has a rubbery front and back, which means that it won't slide around easily even when it's wet. The weight of the case isn't noticeable, and because of the raised corners, will wear better than the average waterproof case. As I mentioned before, the Lifeproof Fre is going to crack after several drops, whereas the Nautical 2 is going to keep looking decent because of the oversized corners. When it comes to iPhone access, I generally didn't have any issues with accessing my iPhone inside the case. The case will reduce the volume of sound coming from the iPhone, which generally doesn't happen with waterproof cases, but it is not that noticeable. But like all other waterproof cases, you can't completely mute the iPhone by accidentally covering the speakers, which is a good thing if you're out on the beach and you get a phone call. Now, call quality is bearable through the case, but as I've said for all other waterproof cases, it is not 100%. You will notice that your call quality is going to be slightly lower. Face ID works without any issues through the high definition screen protector, though the tiny gap in the screen protector may introduce a little bit of glare in certain lighting situations. This will happen with any case that doesn't have a screen protector that exposes the camera or sticks to the camera, to the face of the iPhone. Buttons are large and relatively easy to use. The mute switch is accessed easily through the use of the rotary switch, and I'm glad Ghostek decided to stick with the rotary switch design like the old Atomics, as it's way easier to use that than anything you'll find on Lifeproof Pelican and Dog and Bone. This rotary switch isn't as pronounced as the Atomic 3s and won't come flying off when you drop it around that corner. One of the oversized corners is designed to take a wrist strap, which is, I guess, handy for extra protection or any sort of water-based vacation. I didn't have any issues with the camera lens cover on the case, though like all waterproof cases, your videos are going to suffer a bit of echoing from your finger movement on the actual case, so don't be surprised if you hear some extra scratching noises when you hold on to the videos short. If you're finding this video useful, consider getting all your stuff through my Amazon links. As long as you use the link to get to Amazon, I'll get a small commission for it. This video is technically unsponsored, and so all the iPhones that you're seeing me drop, I paid for myself, and all the time that I spent doing this review, it's taken a really long time to finish, came out of my own pocket as well. So any sort of support is greatly appreciated. When it comes to protection, the Nautical is pretty much a tank. It can be submerged up to a depth of 20 feet, which means you can easily take it on short bouts of snorkeling. The large buttons make it easy to take photos and videos underwater. I don't live any near warm body of water, so I couldn't even take it down to 4 feet. It's still snowy outside. So all I could do was the usual water test in my sink, my kids' bath water, while doing dishes and, you know, seeing if it floats during the spring thaw. Grody, gross water. And snow, I did throw a ton of snowballs at it at the Nautical 2 because, well, it was warm out and the snow was melting. So when it comes to drop protection, Ghostek says it's 3 times military standard drop tested. So when it comes to devices that are the size of an iPhone, standard military drop protection is going to be about 4 feet. With larger devices like iPads, it's about 3 feet because it's based on, I think, the weight of the device or whatever it's trying to protect. So at 3 times the drop protection, it's supposed to be 12 feet. Now, I did reach out to Ghostek and they said between 8 and 12 feet. So, you know, maybe the marketing fluff is a little off. Regardless, in general, I have no problem doing really awful things to all these iPhones. Whatever the Lifeproof Fre can handle, I'm pretty sure the Nautical 2 can handle it better. Now, I'll be honest with you, I did have a bad drop with the Nautical, and I think this is just one of those things out of the blue, bad drops. I had an iPhone 10 fail at about 6 feet on the bottom corner, which is a far cry from the 8 to 12 feet, but that happened after 9 consecutive drops from that height. Now, I did reach out to Ghostek, and they were actually very surprised to see that happen. But one of the things I was trying to figure out, maybe I should rant on them, because, you know, I like doing stuff like that. But when I looked at it logically, I dropped that iPhone 9 times from about 6 feet onto a concrete floor, like on purpose. And the iPhone was fine for 8 out of the 9 drops. The last one, and it didn't even crack. It's just some sort of the digitizer behind the iPhone came loose is what the problem is. Again, maybe the marketing fluff is overstated, but it's still going to be a case that's going to provide exceptional protection for your iPhones on a day-to-day basis. Now, despite the break and despite the fact that Ghostek did reimburse me for this iPhone, I'm still very confident in taking these non-Ghostek reimbursed iPhones and dropping them from really silly heights. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said that the Ghostek Atomic 3 scored a little higher than Nautical 2. And the reason for that is that with the Atomic 3, I was able to put an iPhone with a screen protector, with a skin, into this case. And so it made it very versatile in the sense that if you didn't want the bulk of the waterproof case, you can easily keep everything on your iPhone without having to take it all off and use this waterproof case. So it was just way easier to deal with in terms of being a waterproof case. In general, the Nautical 2 fits your iPhone much better than the Atomic 3, and the screen protector has a smaller gap on the Nautical 2. I do remember getting frustrated with how my iPhone worked in the Atomic 3, which is why I said that case was good to keep around when you needed the extra protection. Now, I do miss the aluminum frame on the Atomic 3, so if you really do need a metallic case, do check out the Atomic Slim. It's not waterproof, but it is definitely more dust resistant than the average case. Do check out that video as I compare all other Ghostek cases against each other in that video. Now back to the Nautical 2, and again, this case just feels just as solid as the aluminum Atomic 3s, and in my opinion will wear better over time. So that's all I got for this video. If you found it useful, considering getting all your Ghostek stuff through my links. This is Monty. He's still not feeling too well, which is why he has the little cone thing, we'll say. If it's the first time you're watching one of my videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. That's kind of all I got. Thanks for watching.